Hello, people of YouTube. This is Gray's Guitars. I am Steve Gray. Thank you for watching. Today we're talking about Squier, the classic vibe series. There are 10 new models that are kind of given some vintage vibes, if you will. So Fender Classic Vibe Squier line gets 10 new models with unmistakable old school features. We're proud to carry forward our legacy whilst also paying homage to our heritage of the traditions that got us here in the first place, says Justin Norville. So Fender has announced the expansion of its Classic Vibe Squier series with 10 new models, including both guitars and basses, offering exceeding vintage details for a smaller price tag. The line officially launches on August 10th and includes 6 guitars and 4 basses, an aesthetic detailing hardware harking back to the 50s to the 70s. The new Squiers form part of a large new drop from Fender, with more guitar lines set to arrive through late summer into autumn this year. Fender describes the new Squier line as a key highlight to its forthcoming range. Justin Norville, Executive Vice President of Product and Sales at Fender, comments this fall's lineup reflects our commitment to innovate craftsmanship and tone. I hate the word innovation because I think innovation, I feel like that word to me means new and exciting, cool, something that's different. And the reality of it is, that's none of these things. So these are features that have been around forever. They are cool features, don't get me wrong, and they're cool guitars, don't get me wrong, but I wouldn't necessarily use the word innovative, if you will. From next-gen guitars to powerful new amps and performance-driven accessories, we've built this range to inspire creativity and elevate the playing experience in every genre. We're proud to carry forward our legacy by continuing to shape the future of music whilst also paying homage to our heritage and the traditions that got us here in the first place. We've considered the key features from each guitar in the new Squier drop below, and it looks like they're going to be around $450. So we have a hardtail, which is always nice. I am a fan of the hardtail. Classic Vibe 50 Stratocaster HT for hardtail. The model describes as a tribute to the early days of the Stratocaster, harking back to the 50s with vintage style and tone. It hosts 3 Fender-designed Alnico single-coil pickups, a 6-saddle hardtail bridge, which was first introduced in 1955, and has a string-through body design for enhanced sustain and resonance. It is also complete with period-correct headstock markings, nickel-plated hardware, vintage tint gloss neck finish. You can get it in shell pink and surf green. Then we have a 70s Stratocaster, which it looks like also a hardtail in an HSS configuration, which means humbucker single. Also same price point. Tip of the hat to the large headstock Strat models produced during the 70s. Fender says this guitar also has a string-through body design. Fender designed Alnico pickups, but rather an HSS configuration. Hardtail bridge provides stable intonation, and a 70s-inspired marking are showcased on the headstock. The guitar will be available in Olympic White, which is this color, and Mocha, which is probably more of a coffee color, I would assume. What I do like that they're doing is a lot of the vintage Fenders have a truss rod adjustment. You have to pop the neck off to get to them. They are putting it on the headstock, so thank God they're making that easier. They are doing 21 frets. I would have preferred 22. If we're not going full vintage spec, give me my other fret. That's all I'm saying. Then we have the Classic Vibe Custom E-Squier, which was what it was called before the Telecaster. Tribute to the double-bound body E-Squier models of the late 50s and 60s. The E-Squier also offers a double-bound body plus a single-coil bridge pickup, 3-position blade switch for first-dial tone options, including tone control bypass, veritable tone controls, a preset tone capacitor, bassy warmth. Just like the Classic Vibe setting, it has all the vintage-inspired bells and whistles when it comes to hardware and markings. It comes in candy apple red and Sherwood green. This is the red version. Then we have the Classic Vibe. This one I thought looked pretty cool. Classic Vibe Custom Telecaster SH with Bigsby, which means single humbucker. This one's a little bit more expensive because you got the Bigsby on there. This one's going up to $525. Tribute to the double-bound Tele models of the late 50s and 60s. The model has Alnico single-coil bridge and humbucker neck pickup. And it is, as the name suggests, a Bigsby tailpiece. It is a string-through design and a floating bridge with barrel saddles for optimal intonation stability. This one is finished in Lake Plastic Blue, which I really like that color, or Aztec Gold. Going on to the Duo Sonic. Looks like we got a nice metal pickguard here. HS configuration. This one's 419. So this one, you got the 24-inch scale length. Duo Sonic might be for you. Fender says it punches above its weight with a single coil neck pickup, humbucker in the bridge, And it has all the other classic appointments. Desert Sand, which this is, or Lake Placid Blue. Then we have a 60s Jazz Master, and we do have all the fancy switching there. Player friendly, we have a C-shaped neck profile, 9.5-inch radius, narrow tall frets, dual fender design on equal coil pickups, vintage style tremolo, floating bridge, barrel saddles, plus plenty of 90s inspired details that will be available in Tahitian coral. Tahitian. That it looks like you're only getting one color for the Jazzmaster, which kind of sucks because I honestly don't. I like Jazzmasters. I've never owned one. I need to one day, but not a fan of that color. Then we have some bases too. Telecaster bass, an active 70s bass, a active 70s bass 5, and a 60s bass. We're going to go ahead and swing over to the Fender website and see if they're on here yet. So actually, here's the current classic vibe. Oh, okay, we do have some other color options. There you go. So let's go ahead and take a look at the basses. So we're probably going to get some new basses. So they didn't mention a bass 6 at all, I don't believe. Yeah, it was a bass 5, so that's a 5-string bass. So we have a Telecaster bass, which we may or may not have a picture of. We'll go ahead and just scroll through here. No, not seeing any at the moment. Yeah, okay, well, we can do show more. Let's see if we can find that supposed Telecaster bass. No, I wouldn't call that a Telecaster bass. So it looks like we don't have that out and about yet. Here's a bass 5, by the way. It looks like that one is going to be about 555, roughly. Just give or take. And then we have, let's see, active 70s bass. Let's see if we can find that one. There's a 60s bass currently. Active 70s bass 5. I think we saw, yeah, it looks like you can, is this like a pre-order type thing? Yeah, it just says coming soon. So we should have a picture somewhere, you would think. Here's your vibes, your 70s precision bass. This one you can currently get. So depending on what you're looking for and the color you want, there are options for you right now if you want something. I know the bass 6 isn't on the list. Yep, there was a purple one. There was a purple bass 6 and a green bass 6, and I'm disappointed I didn't get one of those two colors. It's like a limited edition thing. Because one of these days I would like a bass 6. I'm trying to find this supposed, because they're saying a Telecaster bass. And there's the 60s bass, 60s jazz bass. The basses are a little bit more expensive, pushing $500. But let's see. Do we have a Telecaster bass? I'm not seeing one on the website. What if I just Google Telecaster bass? Squier Telecaster bass. Let's see if we can find. I'm curious what this looks like. Telecaster bass. Let's see if we can find it. Yeah, I mean, there you go right there. Look, it's a Telecaster shape in a bass, unless they're talking about kind of this style, which I wouldn't really consider that a Telecaster style. But I guess we will just have to ultimately wait and see. But Squier does some cool stuff. I know some people prefer the Mustang over the Duosonic. I feel like the main thing is the Mustang I think they typically have a tremolo. Not always, but typically. And they also have a kind of a two-piece pick guard. So they kind of have like there's the pick guard itself that's surrounding the pickups, and then there are kind of its own separate pick guard, if you will. Let's actually go back, see if we actually have a Mustang in here somewhere so I can show you. But it's similar to how the Jazz bass is doing it here, where it's kind of like you got the metal for your pots, and then you got the plastic for your pick guard here. We'll go ahead and just kind of scroll through all of these quick like to see. I mean, there's the Mustang shape right there. You can actually, 60s Mustang bass. So that is ultimately kind of the difference. And as I said, tremolo 2. Let's see. We'll scroll down. They may not have an actual plain Mustang. There's the Duosonic, as we mentioned. I do like the blue color better. But I guess if you go with the white, it looks like you get the metal anodized pick guard. So that's something you might want to factor into it. Here we go. Competition Mustang right here. I prefer the one that's blue. But that is pretty. And the stripes don't. I wish the stripes went on the back of it too. But yeah, as you can see, tremolo, a little bit different switching, a little bit different control plates type of situation going on there. But yeah, there it is. There you have it. Got some new Squiers coming out this August. If you're looking for something different, maybe something with a Bigsby that's fairly inexpensive. Maybe you want a bass. Maybe you want a hardtail Strat, because I definitely prefer hardtails in general. Not a huge fan. I've had Floyd Rose Special. I've had the Guitar Fetish Floyd Rose. I've had a licensed Floyd Rose. I've had just the typical Strat tremolos, whatever you want to call those. There, the 6-point ones, and I just don't use them. That's what it comes down to. I mean, they're it's neat to have, but it's in terms of tuning and setup and everything, it just takes longer. It's kind of annoying to change strings, and I just don't use it enough to justify having a guitar that has one. Even though I do have a Squier right now that does technically have a tremolo arm sticking out of it, but that is the only thing I have in terms of tremolos. Well, let me know your thoughts down below on these new guitars. While you're down there, feel free to comment what you want to see for future music, guitar-related content. Hit the subscribe button, turn on the notification bell, leave a like, share the video. All of it helps. And until next time, as always, thank you for watching. Have a good one.